today we're going to talk about primers and color correctors. This is the first in our series that I titled Build Your Face. I thought that would be a fun little name because we are talking about different topics for makeup application and we're building up to the finishing touches. So today, oh, thank you, Sean. Today we are obviously talking about primers and color correctors. Next time we'll talk about foundations and concealers and setting powders. Then we'll talk about contouring and highlighting and blush. Then we'll talk about, I think eyebrows and eyeshadow can be together. I think that would be fine. If you want to see them separately, let me know. We'll see how long this video is, I guess. And then what do we have after that? Oh, I guess lipstick and stuff. That might just be playing with lipstick. And then we'll have like a finishing touches. So we could probably do lipstick. Oh my gosh, nervous burps. Probably do lipstick and the finishing powders and finishing sprays and all that at the last one, because that's usually the last, it's the last stuff that I do. All right, well, if I'm a little loopy in this video, I'm totally medicated because I had a really bad neck and shoulder pain this morning. So if I'm a little loopy, you know why. What else did I want to talk about at the beginning? I think that's it, you guys. I think we can get into it. All right, I have facts about pricing, just so we could talk about that. So I am all prepped and moisturized. I'm going to pull back my bangs so we can get started here. I actually remembered all my little accessories and things I was going to bring. I was able to get most of it set aside last night, so that was helpful. Hope you guys are doing good. How was your day? Got any fun stuff planned for the weekend? I get to hang out with my cousin on Sunday, which will be fun. We're going to get pedicures and have lunch. And then Saturday is a little not so much fun. I have to clean the house because we host Bunko next weekend, and I don't have time during the week to clean that much, so I'm going to try to get it all done. And yeah, just a lot of house cleaning, yard work. We have errands to run, but I don't know what day we're going to do that. Who knows? We'll figure it out. All right. Oh, Mary Jo. Hey, Mary Jo. How's it going? Let me get all my tools here. All right. So the first thing I do when I sit down to do my makeup is I do a primer spray. That's the very first step for me. I didn't like primer sprays at first. I tried a few that just didn't work for me, but I found some by this company called Scandinavia, and they're really awesome. And I should also tell you, I have oily skin. It's really oily in the T-zone. It's a little bit dry sometimes on the chin and like the cheeks and stuff. But overall, I have really oily skin. I have big pores. I do have some lines under my eyes. What else? Obviously, I have some redness and occasionally a zit or something, but it hasn't been that often. Knock on wood. My skin got a lot clearer after I went gluten-free. That really helped me. So I had really, really bad acne as a kid, as a teenager. It was bad. And it's really nice not to have to worry about that every day. But if you do have blemishes now and then, tea tree oil, like just concentrated stuff you can get at Whole Foods and stuff, dab that on. Mine's usually gone overnight. It's very, very helpful stuff. That's been the thing that's worked best for me, you know, besides all the blemish creams and stuff. I don't know if y'all use the, oh, it had a short name, like a Zap It or something, but it was this sulfur paste, essentially. I don't know if you guys have ever used that. It smelled so bad, but I would dab it on at night and then just have to wash the pillow the next day. Like the pillowcase was done. But you could set a towel down, that would be helpful. But it's just a little paste that dries, it doesn't like rub in. And that did pretty good too, actually. I was surprised because it was one of those seen on TV things. So I didn't think it was going to work when I first got it, but it was pretty good. But tea tree oil, I think, is even better than that. So there's just a little tidbit for you. So the other thing, well, I guess we'll get into that. Okay. So first, setting sprays. I love the Scandinavia Oil Control. There we go. I was hoping this good camera would focus on things. Yay! So hopefully it'll focus on me again. I love this stuff. It works so good. I notice if I don't wear it, because my skin just gets more oily. Like I still have to blot during the day, of course, but this makes a huge difference. So if you have oily skin, and they also have a finishing spray that we'll talk about weeks from now. But this stuff is so amazing. So if you have oily skin, this helps tremendously, and I highly, highly recommend it. So before I spray it and stuff, I will simply talk to you about, all right, so the company is Scandinavia. They very often have 25% codes off their prices. Like, it's pretty much all the time. And then sometimes for holidays, they'll have 30%. So great time to get it is pretty much any time, because they always have the 25% at the very least. A 4 ounce like this one, right? That's 4 ounces. And to give you an idea, this is a 0.66 fluid ounce. They usually send you little free travel ones. This is the regular formula, and I get the oil control. And then they also have 8 ounce bottles. So that gives you an idea of their size. When I first got it, I was getting the 4 ounce. And so those are for the priming spray is 35 ounces. Like I said, this is the regular formula that they usually send you little free travel sizes of when you make a purchase. So I was getting the 4 ounce. It's $35. It does last a pretty decent amount of time, I think. And then once I'd gotten a few of those and I saw that they had the bigger 8 ounce, and the 8 ounce ones, I didn't write that price down. So I'm not sure how much the 8 ounce ones are, but you can get the set of the priming spray and the setting spray in the oil control 4 ounce. It's $50 for both of them, or for the 4 ounce, and $60 for both of the 8 ounces. Excuse me. And again, that includes the priming spray and the finishing spray, both of which I highly recommend. But we'll talk about finishing sprays a little while from now. And I can tell it works so good. I highly, highly recommend it. I've even given it as gifts to friends. So they also have a bridal one, which makes like a bridal formula, which will waterproof your makeup. I haven't used that one. But based on just my experience with this, it'll be awesome. And like I said, they have finishing sprays. They're a little bit cheaper. The 4 ounce and the finishing spray is $29, and the 8 ounce is $39. So all of my stuff I wrote down. They also have a recovery spray. So after you wash your face and everything for the day, the spray has zinc in it. It'll fight acne, and just helps your skin recover. I've used that a few times, but I don't feel like I've used it enough to tell you if it's, amazing. But I really love that company. It's on their website. They don't sell anything at, why am I so red? They don't sell anything at Sephora, Ulta, or anything like that. It's just through their website. Their shipping is really fast. I think it's usually free. Yeah, so let's get to spraying, because it's still got to dry. And then we'll talk about a few other setting sprays that I've tried. So you gotta shake it up. And then we're going to go to town spraying it. Whew, so that's what I do. Just make sure I cover everything. I probably put on a little more of this and a little more of the finishing spray than needed, but I like to be safe. And those little travel container ones, they're really good to stick in your purse too. Like, I took some when we went on vacation because you don't know how long you're going to be gone from the hotel and stuff. And so if my skin needed just a refresher, or if I just felt like my makeup, like I'll blot and then spray some of the finishing spray on, and that just kind of helps make everything last all day. And it really, really does work, you guys. It makes things last a long time. Oh, I've been yakking and I haven't even checked your comments. I'm so sorry. Hi, Matt. Hi, Michelle. Oh, Michelle, you get to join us. So I'll try to call you Michelle instead of Norman, but you guys, Michelle is a friend of mine. I met her in 99, Norm. We call her Norman. That's her nickname. And I don't actually even remember why we call her Norman. But we met when we went to the radio station to meet Joe McIntyre from New Kids on the Block. That's when I met her. So me and Norm go way back. I'm so glad you could join us, Normie. So yeah, okay, I'm letting this dry. It's almost dry. It does dry pretty fast, but I also have a little tiny fan that I'll put on me too. And I don't know, I'm really warm. I don't have the fan on because I heard it making a noise in the last video, and I just want chillness. But this could be my own medication or something, you guys. But it does dry and it's a little bit tacky. You'll feel like just a little bit of tackiness, especially when it's more wet. So it's good either way. If it feels kind of smooth to you, that's fine. That means it's like completely dried. If it's a little tacky, that's totally fine. Smashbox Primer Water. It's pretty good. I don't think I've used it enough just because I love the Scandinavia stuff so much. I don't think I've used this enough to tell you like exactly how it compares. I think my makeup stayed fine when I use it, and I know a lot of other beauty bloggers and stuff really like the stuff, and I think now they have different scents and things too, so I'll have to use it some more just for science, right? For the experimentation of it all, and let you guys know how I feel about it in the future. But they do have a lot more. I don't know if they've changed their formula at all since they first got it, because when it first came out, I didn't really like it that much. It just didn't do much for me. And also, ColourPop has priming sprays. I think these work just fine. It does give you a nice like tackiness, and that's what starts holding everything on as you put it on your face. And it smells really good. This is the one that smells like peaches, I think. Oh no, it smells like cucumbers. It's the mango colored one that smells like peaches. It smells so good. Oh my gosh, I had a peach last night. Oh, it was so good. It was so juicy. And I'm stuffed up too, so hopefully my sniffing won't bother you guys. All right, I'm gonna get some water because again, I'm not used to talking this much. I got one with a straw this time because I hated having to pour my other water bottle. This is my Outlander one. It came in a subscription box actually that I used to get, or they'd have it on occasion. All right, so I am sprayed, and now we're going to talk about other various primers. I think we'll do eyeshadow ones first, just because that's a little bit less involved than the face primers, which I have a ton of, and we'll really get into some meat and potatoes there. But okay, so I love the Urban Decay primer, and all these favorite things that I'm talking about I have linked in the description. So the face primer that I use, the Scandinavia stuff is linked. The Urban Decay primer that I use is linked. I think there was something else. And those are affiliate links, guys, so except for the Scandinavia thing. So if you purchase something through that link, I get like a few cents. If you don't want to do that, that's totally fine. It's up to you. But I included them there just in case. So Urban Decay, I've been using the anti-aging. I was trying to see if I had any samples that had the other colors. So I've been using the anti-aging one. Let's see, do I have a full size regular? So this is the mini of the regular. It's a little dusty. Sorry, guys. Oh, yeah. Look at that focus. Yeah. All right. Um, and that's the regular one. It works fine. I like it fine. But I do have, my lids are getting more wrinkly and I do have more lines and stuff now than I used to. And so I got the anti-aging one and I think it smooths things out just a little bit more. And they're all kind of, let's see. Hopefully this one isn't like crazy dry. Oh, it's the old one, like the tube. I think now they just have the little wand that comes out. Oh, see that one's, you have to like squish it around when it's been sitting there because it gets really oily. But it's basically, let's see if I can do it up close. So it's sort of like a flesh tone thing, and then it blends out clear, sheer, whatever, however you want to say it. See, I'm starting to feel a little loopy. This is going to be fun for you guys, right? I hope so anyway. I hope it's entertaining. I had a lot of fun last time, so yes, that's what we're talking about. Okay, so they also have different colors too. So this one is it Sin Eden? Greed. I don't remember that one. Okay, so it's a gold, like shimmery one. So if you want kind of a shimmery base, I find that they don't make that huge a difference just on your lid. So there we go. We're starting to, I honestly wouldn't take it up too high for me, just because the sparkle up above tends to look not so great on me, and I think it emphasizes more of my lines and stuff. But on the lid, it's really pretty. It just adds like a little sparkle. And you could even wear it by itself, these sparkly ones. So that is Greed, I suppose, from Urban Decay. It's the same kind of formula, same kind of thing. But I use the anti-aging one, which is this one, and it's fairly new. I think it's only been out for a few years, you know, in the scheme of things. And basically it's the same thing, except I can show you the wand. So it has this wand. So I usually have to dig in there and then place it. So I use this and I just place it on my eye, go underneath my eye and on my lid, and then higher above all the way to my eyebrow, just so all of that is laid down. And then we let it dry. So sometimes you can use, I'm gonna get my paintbrush. Oh my God, my makeup brush. This is a real, not a Real Techniques, Royal and Langnickel crease and smudge brush. So one edge is like a flat one like that, and then the other one's fluffy. And they're really helpful for under the eye, especially because you want to be lighter, be nicer and lighter up here, because it is like the thinnest skin and it's so delicate and everything. So I'm going to zoom in a little bit so you guys can see what I'm doing, which is another benefit of using this camera, is that I can zoom in for you guys. So I just place it like that. I might need a little bit more. Let's see, what's the word? Oh, hi, Sharon. That's my mom-in-law, you guys. Since I lost my thyroid, there are times when I cannot think of a word, and this is one of those times, and it's really frustrating because it makes me feel really dumb, and I hate that feeling, and I can't think of the word. Well, I guess what I'm trying to say, I'll say the opposite of what I was going to say, is that you want to not be too generous with what you apply. And so then we're just going to lightly blend that in. Like, don't put too much, because you can add a little bit more, but if you put too much, it gets really gunky. And I found when I go to do my eyeshadow that it like smears around and stuff, and it's really, really annoying. It'll gunk up and it'll look really gross and dry. So if you use too much, no ma'am, that's not good. But you can always add more. So I'm just very gently blending this in. And then I'll show you on the other side with the brush what I do with that. So it's really kind of up to you what you'd like to do. And I have a mirror here now that I'm looking in, so I can make sure to put this in the right place, because when I just look in the camera, it freaks me out. I don't want to poke myself in the eye, which is still a possibility, I suppose. So if you use the brush, basically the same thing. And I feel like sometimes the brush can kind of get in those lines better. Hopefully I don't look crazy. I was putting my makeup on the other day and I thought about how I should do my eyes when I do videos for you guys. Instead of going like, you know, and looking really weird. I'm just not sure what to do with my eyeballs. So we'll figure that out. And so, yeah, basically the same thing, especially if you feel like you've applied too much at first. It's better to go in with the brush because more of the product is going to get on the brush versus your finger. It'll kind of stick in there, and then I think you can blend it a little better, and that will take some of that excess off if you feel like you've done too much. And with the, ooh, Sydney is so excited to listen. Yay! Hey, Sydney! Makeup is so much fun. I'm going to go visit my sister in September. And I can't wait to play with makeup with her and my niece. It's going to be so much fun. So sometimes I will also take this, well, most of the time I also put it around my nose. And then if I have like a really bad zit, or maybe I like scratched myself and there's a scab or something, I'll also use this on that blemish because I feel like it smooths things out a bit more. So I put this around my nose because I have some like broken capillaries and redness and stuff. So that just makes the makeup adhere better, especially because also because I don't have a thyroid. I'm pretty sure it's thyroid related. My nose runs every time I eat, so I'm constantly like dabbing at my nose and stuff. And if I have the extra primer, it makes it so the makeup kind of stays in place, like more than it probably would otherwise. So I'm gonna let that dry, and we're going to talk about a few other ones that I really like. So these little sample packs, and you know what? I can probably open these for you guys. So I have sample packs of the Urban Decay ones. They come in little things like this. So I'm going to, excuse me, nervous burp. And let's zoom back out so you're not like all up in my grill. Okay, I think that's good. Why is my chest so red? I must be warmer than I think I am. Jeez Louise. Sorry, guys. All right, so I'm going to open Eden, which is the Nude Matte formula. I always thought that one was kind of shimmery. It must be the other one. So again, it's like the same flesh tone, and sounds like it's just going to be more matte. Obviously, I haven't used this one. I tend to go with the original or the anti-aging, but actually, oh, you see, I don't know if you guys can tell, but when it dries down, it does look more matte. It doesn't have like a sheen, like a natural skin finish. It does have like a full-on matte look to me. I don't know if you can tell in the camera, but I promise you, that's what it looks like. Also, I brought my wipes again. I know they're kind of loud and crinkly, but yes to coconuts. That's the way to go. All right, let me wash that one off. So they do have a lot of colors. I think they even have more colors now than they did before. I haven't stayed up on it because, like I said, once I find something I really like and that works for me, I generally don't use anything else. I just use that unless I get something in a Birchbox or an Ipsy or whatever that I like. So this next one is Sin, and that one for sure is the shiny one. It's the shimmering champagne one, I believe. So let's put that on. Ooh, thanks so much. Oh, you heard the boys. There's a dog barking in the neighborhood. So it is like a shimmery champagne, and then I will buff that out so you can see. It is more of a like a taupey silver color versus the warmth of the Greed, the gold one. So keep that in mind if you need to. I made the mistake a few times of putting this one all the way up to my brow, and like I said, it just didn't look good. It looks not good on me anyway. Something about that shimmer all the way up just does not mesh well. Okay, so we've discussed those. Let me put on my little samples. I have so many of these sample things because they come, and anytime you get like a Sephora thing, they come in all of that stuff. Ooh, let's keep it off the laptop just in case. All right, so I failed to talk about the prices, and let's talk about it. Urban Decay primer, so they're usually 24-ish for the full size, which is going to be like this one, and that is how many ounces? 0.33 fluid ounces. And then the mini is 0.3, so it's roughly half the size. Anyway, so the mini is 13 and the big one is 24. And those are definitely available at Sephora. I'm pretty sure they're also at Ulta. Yeah, Ulta carries Urban Decay. Yeah, so you can get those, all of those places. And when Ulta does their month-long, like, makeup event or gorgeous hair event or whatever, where they have discounted stuff throughout the month, the primers are usually on there, so you can get them for half price, which is pretty awesome. I love when Ulta does those things. I put in my calendar what's going on sale, like what I want. And actually, if you're going to order online that night, or morning rather, at midnight, the sale prices come on the website, and you can snatch them up before they get out of stock. So, pro tip. Oh, okay. So other eyeshadow primers I liked the Too Faced one. I used that for a little bit. This is the sort of gold shimmery one. Let's see if I can swatch it for you. So this is the Shadow Insurance in Candlelight. So that's the name of their eyeshadow primer, Shadow Insurance. And this is another shimmery one, similar to the Urban Decay one that I just showed you. So it's like a, come on, shimmery champagne color. And then we're going to buff that out. And it's a little more golden toned than the Sin by Urban Decay, which is more silvery taupey, but it's not as gold and warm as Greet by Urban Decay. So if you need just a very pale shimmer, this is a great one to do. They work so good. They really do. I also enjoyed the Smashbox primer. It's the Smashbox Photo Finish Lid Primer. And I'm not sure about the price on this one. I forgot to look that one up. But it's the same kind of paddle situation. And it's a little darker. And it has a way more matte finish to it. So you can see it's just a little bit darker. It has a really good tackiness. I like the way that it works. I still think I like the Urban Decay one better. And then we also have NARS has a good one. Let's see, what's the full name of this? The Pro Prime Smudge Proof Eyeshadow Base. Now, I've only used this sample one because the full size is probably pretty expensive. I don't have the price written down for you guys. I forgot about that. But it is like a really sheer, clear, so it looks kind of whitish right now. And then we're going to blend it out, and it's totally sheer. It also has like a really good tackiness. It has a really nice smoothness to it. And I would actually totally buy a full size of this and use it. And I think Ulta just had a 20% off of everything coupon come out, so I might just do that, you guys. I might get this one because I really liked it, and actually I still have it because I didn't want to run out of it. That's how much I liked it. Now, my friend Kelly swears by the NYX Proof It Waterproof eyeshadow primer. She has been talking about this one. She says it's the same thing as the Urban Decay Anti-Aging. So I picked it up the other day because she had been talking about it and I hadn't used it yet. And it's only $7. I got it at Target. So it's way cheaper than the other options. I've used it a couple times and I think it's done a really good job. Again, it's like a clear one buffs out, you know, same kind of thing. I think it feels a little, almost a little creamier than the others, and it feels really nice on it. It has a nice tackiness too, and I didn't have any eyeshadow problems with it. So if you want a more budget-friendly option, here's what it looks like. You can get it at Target, and yeah, it's only $7. So try that one first, especially if you're new to makeup. If you just want to kind of start trying things, that's a good way to go. I'd started using primers in 2008. I went to the MAC counter and asked them to help me do my makeup for my wedding. And that's when I started using primers, and I could not believe it. Like, the difference was huge, like amazing. So I've used it every day since then. I swear, because it does make such a huge difference in how my makeup applies, how it looks, how it lasts throughout the day. It's changed my makeup world, and I highly recommend primers. Primers of every kind. Prime, prime, prime! Because they're that great. And really, they do make your makeup last. And primers can be like a make or break for drugstore makeup. So if you get the cheaper stuff, no matter where it is, a lot of the eyeshadows can be not very pigmented or really chalky, versus more creamy and buttery for some of the more higher end makeup. But a good primer can make that kind of crappy drugstore makeup look really amazing. So it's really is dependent on that and what works for you, because you know, you guys might not have the same kind of skin that I do or the same kind of issues, and so finding a good primer that works for you and works with your skin, whether you're dry or oily or whatever, is a really big deal. And you might have to try various things. And I think that's the good part about getting the subscription boxes, is that it does allow me to try things that I wouldn't feel comfortable buying a full product of, but I can try them and sample them and have a good idea about what works for me, or if I actually want to buy the full price, the full product, and you know, commit to it. Did y'all see that? I hit my tooth with my friggin' straw. Okay. I only had 1 cup of coffee a day. I thought that would be enough, but all right, guys. So we're going to get into the face primers, and we're not going to talk about all these that I'm about to show you. I'm just going to talk about ones that I really, really liked. But this is the problem. Oh, this is how many face primers I have, from whether I've bought it on sale. Let me reach down and get this. Whether I've bought it on sale, or it's a sample of something, or it's come in some kind of set that I've gotten. That's how many friggin' primers I have. It's crazy. So let's see, how are we doing on time? 52. All right, we're doing good. Yes, so there are all kinds of different primers. There are hydrating ones, there are luminizing ones, there are ones that fill your pores, there are ones that counteract color in your skin, there are mattifying ones, there are smoothing ones, there's tons. Oh yeah, I didn't put my color correctors over here. I'm gonna have to go get those in a minute. So I'll tell you about my favorite one first, and while it's drying, we'll talk about some other ones. So my favorite one is the Dr. Brandt Pores No More Luminizer Primer. This one is a full size. It is $38, which is sort of on the higher end. But I love it. So Dr. Brandt also has a Pores No More that's similar to the Benefit Professional. It's more of a moussey, getting in your pores, blurring your face situation. And it's really great. I don't have a full size with me because I ended up just getting a professional when it was on sale. But it has a little bit of a, a little bit of a skin tone look, and it does the same thing as the professional. It just, to me, it felt better on my skin, and I like the the more flesh tone color of it. You know, it's a little more tan versus the whiteness of the professional one, which I'll talk about in a minute. But this one has like a more moisturizer texture. Let's see. There we go. But it is luminizing, so it just has this pearlescent color. And it looks really good. So I'm going to go ahead and put that on like I normally do. Oh, I should have taken my rings off. All right. So I usually use my hands. You could probably also use a brush, but I just think it's faster and easier with using my hands. So we'll put that all over. I guess I'm warmer than I think I am, guys, because I'm like super red. Need a little bit more. And I do my neck also, which I'll talk about why once we do the color correctors. But go ahead and get all of that on there. Try to just go up with your motions instead of down. Helps push that skin just right where it's supposed to be instead of moving on down with gravity. All right, so we will let that dry for a minute, and it just gives like a nice luminescent look to it. It's a little glowy, but it's not sparkly. It's not overly shimmery. I think it just looks really natural. Let me wash my hands. If you guys have any questions or anything, feel free to ask them. Don't be shy. Sydney, you got some questions? Hook it up, girl. Ask me. All right. I will talk about a few. We're going to talk about the professional. I have various sizes of everything, so bear with me, because a lot of them are like sample ones, and I've just been using samples and samples instead of buying a full size. The one I used to use was the Photo Fix by number 7. I still have this one because I don't think they make this formula anymore. Target carries number 7, and their primers are about $20, which I think is what this one was when I got it at Ulta. But I think now instead of having the one primer, they have like 3 or 4 for different needs. But it has a thicker, more moisturizer-like texture, which I didn't think would work for my oily skin, but it's really great. It's the Photo Fix Wrinkle Filler and Primer. But I do think they have a similar one. I just haven't gone and tried them. Professional. So this is the little mini of the regular formula, and I will open these and show you guys what they look like. And then this is the new one that, let's see, that has a luminizing finish, just kind of like the thing that I just showed you. So this one's a little more pinky, I think. And I have used a lot of this one because I was testing it out to see if I liked it more than the other one. And I don't, but I'll tell you that in a minute. So it's just like a light sort of pinky color, and it gives a little bit of shimmer, but as you can see, it's almost like a let's see if you can get up there and see it. It's almost like a little bit of a white cast. And so that's the problem, is that especially with this one, is it can leave this, instead of luminizing, just kind of a whiteness. And because I have really big pores, especially at the end of the day, all of my pores will look white. Now, I don't think it's something that everybody sees, but when I get up in there in the mirror, when I'm like, woo, they're all white. And I don't think it looks great at all. And so I started paying more attention once I was trying this. And this thing I would use all the time. I would use it underneath the primer that I just put on. So I would do this on my nose and on my cheeks, a little bit on my forehead and on my chin where I have big pores or where I would want to kind of smooth out the skin. And then I would notice that my pores would be so white, and it was just really weird. And so I haven't used it much lately. I think on its own it might be a little better, but I would use it underneath stuff. And sometimes it can pill up a little bit if you put too much on and then you go to do your concealer or something and kind of rub your skin. It can pill up, and you can, excuse me, take it off. I mean, it's fine. But I just don't know if it's not working for my skin now, if something changed or what. So yeah, I mean, I think it smooths out things really well. It kind of blurs those imperfections well. But it's just not working for me lately. Hourglass is another really good one. This one's really expensive, the full size of this one. And did I talk about the professional one? Oh, I didn't even write that one down. I think those are about $30. So the full size of the Hourglass, which this is, again, a sample, is 54. So it's way more expensive than most of the other ones. And I don't know if the big size has like a paddle thing like this does, but it comes out as this white. It's very light. It's very lightweight. It almost has like a purple bluish look to it. And then as you blend it, it's just clear. And it has it feels so good. It kind of smooths things out. I don't know if you guys can see it at all here with the differences there, but it feels good. It has more of a smoothness than a tackiness, and it does the blurring thing. It's so good. So my samples stick around a while because it's so expensive, and I don't want to have to buy a full size. So yeah. Woo. Let's see. What else do I like? I'd rather talk to you about things that I really like versus things that I don't like, because I think that's more helpful. But we shall see. I tried to clean up some of my primer stuff because some of them were really old. Because if they don't work for me, then I don't use them. I've tried this peach one. And that one was okay, but it's really mattifying. So if you have super oily skin, I think this is great because it mattifies, but don't put it in your dry areas because that just makes things look crustier. And it made my makeup just look kind of dry when it was already on skin that wasn't crazy, super duper oily. Also, the Urban Decay Optical Illusion Complexion Primer. So it has the same kind of deal. It's as the professional stuff where it smooths things out. It has the same kind of feel. It's like a little moussey situation here, and it does the same thing. And I think it's really great at blurring that out. I think this one also left kind of like a little whiteness in my pores, and you know what? I have huge pores, so maybe that's just what happens with these kind of textures. But that one also has a really smooth feeling versus a tacky one, and it does keep your makeup in place. So the full size of that one, the optical, is 34. And I don't have a price for the full size peachy one. It's the Too Faced Primed and Peachy is the one for super oily skin. Let's see. The Makeup Forever ones. Oh, and the Pixie one is good. All right, hold on. I'm digging around, you guys. Okay, we have a few more to talk about. So the Cover FX Mattifying Primer does what it says it's going to do. Again, another like super mattifying one. So if you have dry skin, this is not your jam at all. You will look super dry, like desert dry. But if you have oily skin and you need some mattifying help, I would give it a go because it does what it says it's going to do. Likewise, the Makeup Forever mattifying ones are really super duper mattifying. These are really hard to squeeze out of the tube. Like it's kind of a fight sometimes. So this has like a whitish look to it. And this one is not quite as moussey. It's a little more moisturizing feeling, almost gel-like versus the others. There's a lot of different ones that just don't work for my oily skin. So this is the Cover FX Mattifying. It is clear. And then again, just feels kind of like a gel. but it does have a nice smoothness to it. Yeah, so a lot of them, like the hourglass ones, these are really pretty. They're so shimmery, even though, so these are like full sizes that I got through Ipsy with rewards points when they first came out. And so let's see if we can, it's really, they're beautifully shimmery to give you that luminizing quality, but I don't like the way they smell. And yeah, and they're not good for my oily skin. They make me more oily. And the Becca luminizing ones make me super oily too. But Makeup Forever also has different ones. So this is the smoothing one, same kind of deal as the professional thing, where it really smooths out and blurs. They have ones like with different color abilities to add radiance to different tones of skin. Let's see, what else do they have? I think they have a hydrating one. So yeah, these are really good too. And the mattifying one of this, if you have oily skin, great, use it. If you have dry skin, do not use it. It will make you crusty. The smoothing one's really darn good. Pixie has this one. It's the luminizing one, Flawless Beauty Primer. So I'll show you what this one looks like. Oh, Lord, it's not coming out. Oop. And then it came out too much. So that's what this one looks like. It's more of a, I don't know, like a tannish color, but then let's see if y'all can see the luminizing quality about it. It feels really good. It's more of like a really light moisturizer feeling, and it just adds that little bit of shimmer. It's not overdone. It's very subtle. It's not sparkly at all. It's just lightly shimmery, and it looks really nice. It's got that kind of dewy look. So I like to do that when I'm just doing more of a natural look, because I think it just adds a little something something to it. And you can also kind of use it in just places, like just use it at the highlights if you want to, if you want that extra luminosity, and then use your matting one or your smoothing one, and you know, you can play with them that way. And some of them won't work together very well. Some of them will pill up or look weird. They might separate a little bit. So you have to see what works with your makeup and what works together, and that can be kind of annoying. But the Pixie one's really great, and I don't have the price for that one, but Pixie's not super expensive, and you can get it at Target too. And then the Kula Dawn Patrol Primer. I believe this one has SPF. One of them does. These are pretty good too if you need some SPF. And this one happens to also be a primer, so that's helpful, and it's like a clear thing. They also have some setting sprays, Kula, and Super Goop is another one, and those are going to be, excuse me, those are going to be ones, you know, that give you that SPF. The those two setting sprays, and I guess we'll talk about them later, they're not made the same. Like, one stings a lot, and I can't remember which one it was. I think it was the Kula one. It kind of just stings the skin. But here's what it looks like. It's a clear gel, and it goes on. It feels kind of gel-like or serum-like, and it has a really smoothing finish. So it feels really nice. It's not super tacky at all. It's the more smooth kind. But you're gonna get that the SPF and stuff. I believe that one is. Or then maybe they came out with a new one that actually has SPF and this one doesn't. But they're a company that makes sunscreen, so you think it would actually have SPF. But it doesn't have a, you know, SPF number on here. Oh, SPF 30. I didn't even see it. It's at the top. So that's a primer with SPF 30. That's great. My foundation has SPF in it, so that's helpful as well. All right, so primers. That's, yeah, I think we've covered a lot. Anybody have any questions about primers? Anyone? Bueller? Let me go grab my color correctors. Ask your questions if you like. You don't have to. My dress is from ASOS, but it's an older one, so it's not available. But I like when they have this style, just kind of like a jumper dress. I think they call it a skater dress or a smock dress. But I love it because it's just so comfortable. All right, so with color correctors and why I started using these. I started using them um, January of last year, and I started using them when I was in Hawaii because my skin got really irritated. So, I have to tell you guys a secret before we do this part because the secret is why I use them. And so this is something that I've only told a few of my close friends, and I was pretty nervous about it. So I have to shave my face. I have facial hair. Me having thyroid cancer, my thyroid being so messed up, it made me have facial hair. So that is the deal. Oh, Sharon's got a question. I'll answer in just a minute. So yeah, it's gotten better, a little bit better since I started using thyroid medication, and I also do an at-home laser hair removal thing. So I can talk about that in the future if you guys want me to talk about it. But my skin gets irritated and it gets red and all of that stuff. So I started using color correctors because it was just something that I had to use more and more makeup to cover up, and then it would look cakey and weird. And so I was like, you know what? I haven't tried color correctors yet. I might as well try them and see if it helps. And it has helped. And that's why we're going to talk about them, because I love them. They do a really great job. They do what they're supposed to do. And then I can use less makeup, and everything just looks great and lasts all day. So let's see. What would be good for the over 60 face? You probably want something hydrating depending on your skin, but usually as we age, our skin loses that moisture. So I would say hydrating. Maybe some of the smoothing ones would be nice, because then they just kind of like, they'll fill or sit in line, so it just kind of smooths things out a bit. That would probably be good. And again, you can still use like a little bit of something else, in those particular places. So if you need more hydration on your cheeks and stuff, you could use more of a hydrating primer and then use something a little more smoothing in the center of your face. And like the anti-aging Urban Decay primer is supposed to help, kind of smooth things out and fill in those lines, so you have like a smoother canvas, if you will. So those would probably be the ones that I would try first. I would stay away from shimmery ones and mattifying ones, unless you have super oily skin. The mattifying ones are just gonna like dry you out, and when you get dry, you just start looking crusty. And then the shimmery ones, those usually settle in lines. Like I really love the Dr. Brandt Pores No More one, the Luminizer, because it does have such a nice quality to it. It feels moisturizing, but it's not super oily, and it's not sparkly. Like for all over the face, I would stay away from like super sparkly stuff. But the ones with the more subtle glow are going to be great too, because, a lot of the times as we age too, our skin gets more dull, we lose that moisture and stuff. So, anything with like a radiance to it, like the Makeup Forever one has different levels of radiance. So they'll have a blue one that's better for really fair skin, and a pink one that's really great for light skin. And so those will add just like that luminous quality. And so that's probably going to be helpful too, is just, a little bit of luminizing and some hydration and some smoothing, to help you out. And again, it just depends on your skin. So if you're able to get a sample at like Sephora and stuff, you're able to get one of the little minis to try, that's a great thing to do. Get the mini, try it, see how it does on your face, see how it wears on its own, and then with makeup and all of that jazz, and then like different periods of time too. All right, so hopefully my hair will stay out of the way. I'm going to zoom in a little bit so we can talk about these color correctors. Woo! Hi. So I have 4 different kinds. And I use the Urban Decay, let's see, what's the whole name? The Urban Decay Naked Skin Color Correcting Fluid. So the yellow one brightens and it helps to cover dark circles and lighter skin. The pink one is a brightening one. The peach one is to cover the darker circles and things like that. And then the green one is to counteract redness. So the green one is the one I got when I went to Hawaii. I had a lot of redness and irritation, and I didn't know what else to do about it. So that was my first one, and it worked so well. I ended up getting the pink one because I thought that would help with my under eye circles. And it's just kind of light. So then I got the yellow one, and that does pretty good. Excuse me. And then I got the peach one. That also helps with under eye circles, but it also helps for my facial hair issue. And the green one helps to counteract the redness. So, you know what? I should have got another thing to pull my hair back. We're not going to worry about that. We're going to start with the green. Actually, you know what? Let's start with the eyes first because that's just easier because I don't need as much of it. So you need very little. I usually do 2 dots of the pink. And actually, maybe I should do each one separately so you can see the difference. And then maybe I shouldn't have put the one on the other side. This is a damp sponge. This is an old one, and I don't know what the brand is, but it's really dense. It's more dense than the Real Techniques orange sponges. So I like it better for this type of thing. So I don't know if you can see the difference on the camera, but it just gives a brightness, which is what it's intended to do. And you really don't need a lot whenever you use these. A little tends to go a long way, and so they last a lot because this container of it, which is 0.21 ounces, is $29. So they are kind of expensive for the size. You know, they're, let's see, where's the label? Geez. For the size, yeah, it's expensive, but again, it lasts a long time. I think since like a year and a half ago, I've only bought 2 full-size green ones. So I've had 3 full-size green ones in the last year and a half. I think that's pretty darn good, especially for the price. And I use it every time I do my makeup. All right, so that's what it looks like with the pink. So that one did a pretty good job. I think my under eye circles haven't been that bad today. So now we're going to do the yellow, which I just kind of smear on like that. And actually, this is probably too much. So it'd probably be better if I just dotted it. So I'm probably going to go ahead and use that over here as well. And they do dry down quick once you start blending them. So you want to work faster once you start moving them. But if I just dot it, I might do all of my colors on my face and then just start blending them that way. Because usually that's just what I do. I paint my face and then start blending these in. And then I'll usually do the yellow one around my nose too. So we'll go ahead and do the whole face. You just need a little tiny bit. Like this is even too much. And I might have to pick up my mirror at some point. All right, so do you see the difference? You can also use it like a little bit on my chin. So this is the bad side because I cut myself, but you can see it's like I'm kind of red up here just because I'm warm, but this is like irritation and such. So I'll use a little bit over here to brighten and even on my neck, just to kind of counteract that irritation and stuff. So we'll go ahead and take care of that. And again, you don't need that much, and you can always add more if you need to, but this just brightens, and it helps counteract some of those darker tones. The application is always like the longest part. So, feel free to sing a song. I can't hear you. I wish I could. Then we could sing together. All right, so then we're going to go in with green. We've talked about the yellow, we've talked about the pink. Now the green is what counteracts that redness. So I'm going to go ahead and zoom you guys in a little bit more because it might be a little easier. Hey! So let's see if we can apply this. So I usually do it like that. I have these spots from just irritation and stuff. So I'll do one side of my face. That's usually everywhere I need it. Sometimes I'll have more redness like up here. And sometimes around my nose, like I have little veins and stuff. So I'll do it that way. And then we'll just start blending in. And hopefully you guys can see the difference as we go. I never know what the lighting and the camera is going to pick up, or if you could even see something at first, but then once I point it out to you, you're like, oh yeah. But then if you were in person, then you could see it. So hopefully. And then it's basically just about blending in. It does give your skin a little bit of that color cast, which is why we're doing it in the first place. We're trying to counteract those colors. But once you put your foundation and concealer or whatever else you're putting on, once you put something over it, you can't tell. It doesn't have like a green cast the whole time. It just counteracts those colors. So can you see the difference? Like it's definitely something that works well for me. So we'll do this side. I should even do it on my chest just because my chest is so red. So I paint it on like that. That's just one little dip into the thing. You don't need a lot. I just don't see people talk about color correctors that much. And there are other companies who have different ones. So, if you want to try something else, that's great. I know Makeup Forever has like a palette with more of like a cream-based one. And some other companies have some, but I can't remember what they are. I've only used, maybe Laura Mercier has one. I've only used this one, and it works well. And so I stuck with it because it just does such a great job, and definitely what I need it to do. So can you see the difference, you guys? It's like, it's not too bad. It's made like a heck of a difference. See, look at that thing. I had that red thing on my forehead. Ta-da! It helps so much. I don't leave home without it now just because it's so great. So same deal. I'm going to zoom you back out just a little bit. And same deal with the peach. So if you are a big fan of RuPaul's Drag Race, then you probably see when they show the drag queens putting on their makeup, they have like this orange stuff all over them. And it's a color corrector. They're trying to counteract those darker tones of their beard hairs and stuff. Because even when they shave, it can leave those little dark parts. So that's what I have to do too, is use a color corrector for that. And this also helps for under eye circles. So I don't think mine are too bad today, so it's not really going to make much of a difference to you if I show you. But I'm going to do it anyway because that's what I usually do. And it they have a darker color too, a darker peach. So I think it's called Deep Peach, and this one is just peach. And so the deeper one is better for darker skin tones. It's still going to do the same thing, counteract those darker tones under your skin. It just works better for different skin tones. So this is the light one, and I just kind of swoop it. Sometimes I'll do it here because I have mustache hairs too, and it does help. It helps counteract those darker tones. I find it very helpful. So we'll just blend those in and then I'll do my neck. And like I said, I'll at least do the green and yellow and pink where they go, and blend those in and then add the peach if needed as my last. And these are just very like thin layers. You don't want to goop on a whole bunch. And they work well together because they're the same brand and stuff. So they blend well together. They sit on top of each other nicely. They get along, which is always nice. So again, I don't know if you can see a difference, but I do. And that's what's important, right? But I do hope you can see the difference because I want you to know that they work and I want you to know how they work. All right. So we'll go ahead and do it over here. I still go over those like little red spots, and you can always add more of the green to like spot correct things if you need to. Oh, my nose is driving me nuts. Driving me nuts today. There was a fly in here that we couldn't find last night, and Finn got him today. He caught him. He used to be so scared of bugs and anything that moved on its own, actually. But he's been a lot more bold lately and really got in there and got those bugs. He likes to hunt them and watch them. He's kind of a creeper about it. But he gets them. So again, we're just basically doing the same thing where we're tapping and blending, tapping and blending. Just very light taps all over, back and forth, up and down, all around, all that jazz. All right, how am I doing on time? Ooh, Lord. All right. Sorry, guys. I'm just yakking. Forget about everything. Okay. So we're done with that step. And that's the result. So it covers up everything pretty well. So that allows me to use less concealer, less foundation, and then things don't look cakey or like overdone or weird. And it's been a huge game changer for me, really, in the whole makeup thing. It's just been so amazingly helpful. So I wanted to make sure you guys knew that they existed and that they do work. I would highly recommend them. I mean, I know they're expensive, but they're worth it. They last a long time. Ulta, when they do their things, sometimes they'll have those for half price, so that's a good time to stock up. And they also do their 20% off. Ulta and Sephora will have that. And Urban Decay will have their, gosh, excuse me, I'm so sorry. Urban Decay has their friends and family thing where they'll have 25% off, so that's good. Oh, hi, Sarah. I think that's what I was going to tell you guys. So yeah, that's primers and correctors. Again, it's been longer than I intended because I'm like super long-winded and just yapping and stuff to you, but then also the application of stuff takes longer versus an edited video. So I'm having fun. I hope you guys have fun. I hope it was helpful. Next week we're going to talk about we're gonna unbox my last my last June box came today. So next week we'll be unboxing June beauty boxes and subscription boxes. I think I have 5 again because I got the curated Birch box and the regular Birch box. And they have different things in them, so we'll have that to talk about too, which will be fun. Does anybody have any questions or they want to see anything before I go? Let me know. All right. Well, I know this thing is like a few seconds behind, so wait a minute. I'll see if you guys have anything to say. I feel better having told you my secret. It wasn't as difficult as I thought it would be. And thank you for being supportive and hanging out with me. I really appreciate it and I love it, and I hope you guys do too. These dogs. Dobby has the funniest growls. It's like rawr, 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 rawr. So funny. Okay, well, thank you guys. I really appreciate it, and I can't wait to see you guys next week. I hope you have a great weekend, and I will talk to you later. Bye. Oh, oh, Sarah came in late. What's going on? Okay. Okay, cool. All right. I'll talk to you later. You can ask me questions later. And feel free, guys. Ask me questions anytime. You can message me. You can ask on here. Whatever works for you. I'll answer you and I'll get back to you. All right. I guess I'm going to go now. Bye.